record and get to see if, I guess Michelle, she's probably busy. I'm assuming she's probably busy.
Her husband is uber sick, and he has his first doctor's appointment in 10 years at 4 o'clock today. So she said, if I can make it happen, I will. But that's kind of, she has now 4 babies to be taken care of.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I knew there was something. It was like, yeah, he was sick.
So yeah, no worries.
Okay, Jen will be hopping on in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oh, this little thing up here makes me crazy. Can you move that? You can. Okay. So, and then moving it back up here. Okay, so just like things that are coming up. Tomorrow I'm doing I know this is last minute, but it's just because I had kind of had it planned personally, but I also want you guys to know that it's at your disposal if you want it as well. Doing a coach sneak peek tomorrow. It's just our team. It's not with Brigida's. I did want to ask you guys though, think of yourself pre-Beachbody coach. Do you think, I see a lot of these coaches doing 3-day sneak peeks. If you were wanting to learn about this business and you were halfway excited about it, would you want to do it in 3 days or 1 day?
1.
That's what I'm thinking.
1 is way better. Because if I have to schedule 3 days or 3 afternoons worth of video watching or something, it's not going to be that.
Okay, see, that was my thought. And I was like, okay, well, I'll get their opinion because I just don't think I would like that, but I'm not the only person in the world whose opinion matters, so I'll ask them and see. Okay, so we'll just do it a 1-day Saturday sneak peek where they can just hop in, and then if it's Tuesday and they're like, hey, I just don't have time to check it out, they can still check it out on Tuesday. So we'll just do that. Just know that you can always add people to that and then tag them in the welcome post just to get them started, and then kind of walk them through at their own pace as you go. And it will be the same link as always, so I'll post that in our group just so you guys can have that. But same coach sneak peek. So you've probably already got some people in there that maybe you've added in the past, but if you have anyone, even if it's a challenger who's kind of curious, just pop them in there, let them know it's no pressure. Summit tickets are still this is the cheapest they will be. After January 31st, they will go up, and I think they'll go up to $199 at that point. So right now they're $155. So, and then as you keep waiting, they continue to go up. So eventually they'll be $295, I think is the top price that they'll be. February is Team Cup month. So if you are really wanting good accountability, Rachel Mitchell has a few girls. So we've got one team that's full, but Rachel Mitchell has another team that because you're allowed to intermix coaches, that she's got some girls. And so we're going to put some girls on that team together who are really motivated to hit Success Club in February. So if you are motivated to hit Success Club and you want to learn from an outside team, which Rachel Mitchell's team went elite, by the way, this year. I was honestly really surprised. I didn't see her shooting for that. So I didn't really know that, but they know what they're doing. They're advancing and they're doing really well. So if you want to rub elbows with other coaches from another team who are really motivated, that's a good thing to do. So just let me know after the call if you want to do the Team Cup. And then this is way in advance, but I just know we're all moms of littles, or most of us are, or just our lives are crazy in general. So in April 13th and 14th is the next super weekend. I am genuinely, truly going to try to make that one. I'm hoping that there is one in Nashville again because that works best for me. But if not, I'll go to Louisville and take whoever wants to go with me can come with me. Unless Chelsea and Tara, there's a super trainer coming to Georgia, and then
famous person in our neck of the woods.
Then I'll probably be
how far out do they normally announce those?
I don't really know. I think. Oh, why is there? Can you mute yourself? I'm gonna mute you. I think that's where I started. I heard myself in the background of someone else's computer. Okay, but I think they do it about a month in advance. So if you're still in that Georgia coaches Facebook group, I would just start checking that. And then you can always check back office. If you go to the event section, it'll show you where one will be, and it will link you to that page. So you can always check there. April is when Transform 20 releases to all BOD members. It's just a general one. And then some of you had questions about Success Club Trip 2020. So because it's such a monumental, like it's a big trip that they have to plan it almost a year and a half out. So for this trip on March 21st through the 29th-ish, in 2020, they have to start planning for it now. So like all the elite coaches and top 10 and all of them, they have already been given the invite, obviously, to go. And so they've already registered. But for the rest of us, like I still haven't, I've opted in. And so you'll have to opt in, and I'll post that in our message thread as well. But you have to opt in to be invited if the spot comes available. So I actually am not guaranteed a spot yet until enough coaches who are in the elite category sign up and register. And then whatever's left over, they start giving to Success Club earners in 2018. So that's how it works. So if you really want to go to one of these trips, just make it your goal to hit like Success Club 5 or 10 every single month. If you hit Success Club 5 every single month, that'll pay a huge chunk of your trip, but you'll still have to pay a little bit of it. If you hit Success Club 10 every month, it'll pretty much guarantee that you get a free trip. The only cost is a $300 deposit, and then just to get there, you do have to pay to get there, but it's worth a free or a $300 vacation for me to fly somewhere usually. So there's that. And so those are the dates. There's 2 waves, so they can fit as many coaches in as possible. And so it's one the 21st through 25th, and then one the 25th through 29th. Just like as an FYI, if you don't already know this trip was what motivated me to hit Success Club all last year. And it's what really motivated me to like get to where I am, like personally, like in a growth mindset. And then I'm getting ready to tell you guys here in a second. Also, hold up. Wanted to show you guys this. I've gone back and forth on creating meal plans for my challengers because it takes a long time. And I feel like no one ever really uses it, yet at the same time, they're always asking for it. So I was just brainstorming this, digging it through and looking at what other coaches were doing, like, you know, is it beneficial? Is it helping or whatever? And I finally decided that as a challenger, like I would expect that. I would genuinely, if someone was saying they were one-on-one coaching me, I would kind of expect a meal plan, even if I didn't use it or like it. I just would expect it. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start writing one out. And I kind of started thinking more. And I thought, you know, when I follow those big, like sometimes I go to people who aren't Beachbody coaches, like I'll go to their fitness accounts just to see what they're eating, because I'm always curious. I'm like, are they eating something different and secret that's better or whatever, even though we all know it's just real food. But I like to see what they're eating. And so even if my girls don't use this meal plan, at least they know what I'm eating and I'm being totally transparent with them, and just leading by example. And so I created this, and what it actually has on there is I actually included the recipes. And that's another thing too, because we have Fixate, and no matter how hard I try, people like never want to go there. They just think it's going to be too hard and everything's going to use almond flour or this or that or just hard ingredients. And they don't realize how like down to earth these recipes are. So the whole goal is to not only lead by example and show them what I'm doing and lay it out for them, but also for them to really see that this is like, I follow what I sell. I am a product with a product, and these are the recipes that I actually use. And so that this whole thing is sent out to my challengers on Friday. Now, here's what I do not want you guys to do. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to do this yourself. I want you to steal my plan, because it doesn't see my name on here anywhere. You send it to your girls and say, this is what I'm doing, or this is like something that I do. It is plan A. So I just tell my girls, I'm like, just take it and, you know, pencil, if you're plan B or C or whatever, just add on. Just pencil in extra things, you know, that you need to meet your daily calorie intake. So there's that. I hope that helps you guys. If not, I don't know. Oh, there's such a... I'm just going to mute everybody because I keep hearing like myself talking and it makes me crazy. All right, so there's that. And that is in the file section of our Facebook page. then, and then I also wanted to remind you guys that if you are Diamond Rake by Summit, that will still earn you the free hotel room. Like, I'll still pay your hotel room fee. So there's that. And here we go. So I was, this was, okay, so like the beginning of January, this was not my thought for our team. I was like, we don't need, like, shooting for elite, like, that's just really, that's too big, it's too much, it's whatever. But then I started looking, obviously I follow a few, or I check out a few of the top coaches' posts every once in a while. And I watched them all celebrating, and they were celebrating like not, oh, look at us, we are like so awesome. But they were like, this is something our team did. Like, so-and-so did this, and so that boosted our team. And then this girl did this, and this boosted our team. And I was really jealous in the sense that they got to celebrate, like these coaches were celebrating their coaches. And I was like, I have not pushed my team to do that. And so therefore it's a leadership issue on my part, where I haven't asked enough of you guys, because I know that you could do this. Like, I know we could be an elite team very easily. You're all very consistent. You all take care of yourselves. You're a product of the product. Like, I think we can do, I know we can do this. I just haven't pushed for that because honestly, it's been a fear of failure kind of thing, which is selfish on my part. And so I just wanted to kind of lay out like, and then second of all, actually, this is what Alexis, I was telling you, I'm really, really excited about. So I actually got an email from Kevin Shaw, who is the like manager of the Beachbody Champions page. And he reaches out to coaches who have the potential to be premier and elite. And so he reached out to me and he said, you know, like, looking at our team, like, we have ample talent on our team to go elite, and we have ample diligence and all and skills to go elite. And so like it kind of took a few days for that to sink in. And he added me to a private Facebook group of coaches who are shooting for elite, and how he's going to walk us through that and hold us accountable to help lead you guys better, so that you guys, so this is a team thing and not just me. But he is like working with us individually to help us hit elite. And so I was like, okay, like, obviously we can do it, because Kevin Shaw from Beachbody says we could do it. Like, he's pulling these coaches out who he sees potential, pulling teams out that he sees potential, and he pulled our team out, you guys. And so I am really humbled, and I'm also really scared and nervous, but I do think we can do it. I just haven't like really presented it to you guys because I didn't want to put pressure on you, but really this is a good thing. So why would we want to shoot for elite? This was just kind of my thought processes. First of all, I think it is our joyful responsibility to do well in the work that God gives us. Like, if you feel called to do this in any like respect, like, I think it's our responsibility to do well with what he has blessed us with in terms of even a job. It says whatever you put your hands to, you know, do as if doing it for the Lord. And so I think this applies here. And number two, I want to celebrate our team in a bigger way. So like I said, I was jealous of all these coaches that were shouting out to their coaches. And I was like, I have not been leading my team the way they need to be led. And I want to celebrate them more. And by, you know, hitting these goals, like, it would just be super fun. And like, I'm seeing all these coaches like getting together with their team, and because since they're hitting these goals, they financially can do that kind of thing where they can get together more often. And so I don't know, I just really want to say, like, our team did it. We did it, because I think we can. Number three, I want you to wake up with a solid reason to push for something bigger than yourself. And what I mean by that is sometimes when you set a goal for yourself, it's not enough. And I don't know why, but whenever you're doing it for like a team, like a united thing, it's bigger than you. And so there's more excitement there. There's more reason, there's more passion, there's more of a why in that. And so I think, I really enjoy that kind of stuff. So that's number three. And then four, it makes us dream bigger. I believe like as it's a gift from God that we're allowed to dream, and we are allowed to push for goals in a way that glorifies him. Obviously, it doesn't need to consume us, but just in a way where it's like, okay, I'm not going to like be a workaholic. I'm not going to be addicted to this, but I am going to do, which I'll go over here in a little bit, but I am going to do the daily things that they say to do, at least to a certain extent that honors my family and my time, So there's that. Oh, geez. Okay. How can we achieve this? And so I went on Back Office and what Kevin Shaw has kind of laid out, and he walked us through what's called reverse engineering, where we take our goals and like divide it up to a point where you can see what your actions need to be per day, which I will do with each of you if you want me to help you roadmap that way. But so how can we achieve this? And it's really funny because our team is Team United Legacy. That's been my vision from the beginning, but I just have done a very poor job of actually giving us a united goal. And so here is our united goal this year, is to be elite. And so here's how we can qualify. We have to earn at least 105 elite points, and I'll break that down very quickly. And then also be a 5-star diamond team. I know there are more than 5 of you on this team that I know could go diamond this year, and that's all it would take. So basically, as our team grows this year, the goal would be for you guys, especially you on the call here today, because I know you're the obvious leaders of our team, that your goal this year would be to go diamond. So if you want to look at it as from a, like, it's easy to say, okay, well, here, what's Lauren got to do? What's so-and-so got to do? What does so-and-so? If you want to look at like what just you have to do to achieve this for all of us, to help us all achieve this, it would just be to go diamond, which I know sounds really scary, but like I said, I can help you reverse engineer that in a way that's manageable and not a time suck. Then, so in terms, like looking at number 1 there, if you go to the next column, how do we earn those elite points? So the number 1 acquisition PV, that's on me. That is something that I, as your team leader, would have to do on my own. That is just that's hitting Success Club myself. That's what acquisition PV is. So I have to earn like 50 elite points in that category. Then for the second one, number 2 there, it says a new personally sponsored coach. Let me see if I can like move you guys up to the top here. Okay, so for a new personally sponsored coach to get at least 1 Success Club point the first month that they enroll. Sorry, my kids are walking through the kitchen. My husband's bleeding through like little nuts. So what that means is, I'll just give you an example. Like Jen and Catherine, you both earned a Success Club point the first month that you signed up. So you both earned Team United Legacy a point last year in that category. And we only have to get 5 points in that category. Like, it's not like this is just 5 new coaches with 1 Success Club point in their first month. So that's totally manageable. Once again, that's on me because it would have to be coaches that are personally sponsored under me. So here, all you have to worry about, if you're once again, you're thinking, what do I have to do personally to help the team? Your goal would be to hit number 3, which is just Success Club each month. If you hit Success Club each month, then you will pretty naturally, if you're doing the vitals, you'll pretty naturally build your team up to diamond within a year. So it is, especially since this year I'm planning on not breaking from Brigida's team at all, but doing our own team training. I've already started the planning of that. I just have to send my kids to their Nana and Papa's for a day so I can film all of them. But I've got everything together. I just need to film it all. So there's that. And so, yeah, Success Club and Diamond. If you're just like, okay, break this down as small as you can for me, Lauren, Success Club and Diamond would be your goal. Once again, if you're breaking it down and doing the vitals from the Success Club system tracker, that will happen. So I want to show you guys that really quick. So if you go into your coach office and you go here to training, hopefully it hasn't logged me out. The new thing it says right here, like they just rolled it out, is this Success Club system, and I love it. It completely breaks it down and walks you through everything. Here's the tracker itself. And I've been using this for the past week and a half, and it just to be clear, it overwhelmed me at first. But then it started becoming like very like, oh, okay, like that's how you can do that. That's how you can do this. So the first thing is obviously to be proof the products work. That is your number one goal as a coach. Oh, also your why can be, to hit elite as a team. My personal ones that I have written down is because my family deserves me to be a hardworking Proverbs 31 woman, because Disney World, and because I'm capable of more good when I make an income. So there's my whys. I'm also going to put elite on there. Actually, I'm going to write that in right now. Target market, you can put your hashtags there if you want, which I've had so much issues with hashtags, so many issues, but I'm trying to get better with those. And then, so number one, be proof the products work, duh. Then move on to initiate connections and add followers. And look, they give you a time frame here. So 1 hour and 40 minutes for this. If you're like, hey, I don't have time for that, you can half this. So if you say, okay, I'm going to do initiate connections and add followers, 10 minutes. Do a social media post that showcases the benefits, do that for 10 minutes. And then daily life, workout clips, product use. So I don't try to do, first of all, I'll say this, your people on your feed, they like consistency. So you're looking at this right now and you're going, that is too much, but it's really not. They love and they feed off of consistency. I've actually had people before where like I'll get in a rut and I just don't post for 3 days or whatever. And they're like, where did you go? What happened to you? Like whatever. Not that you need to like let that be a pressure and a weight on you, but just know that like it's not driving people nuts. If that's your fear, you're not driving people crazy. And if you are, they can unfollow you and they're not your people, and that's okay. And so daily life, I usually just put one of like me and my boys, workout clips. That's pretty simple. Don't do more than 3. I think more than 3 people are like, okay, I get it. Product use. Some days I do a beach bar. Some days it's Energize. Some day it's Shakeology. I don't do all of them every single day. I just do genuinely what I'm using for that day, and explain why I use it and the benefits of it. Healthy meal or meal prep. Today, honestly, that post or that Instagram story was a picture of raisins and chocolate chips because that is what I'm craving. I'm like super premenstrual hormonal right now, and so that's what I'm using to still make healthy choices. So I've showed that. An invitation or call to action, that's been very hard, but I try to do like an Instagram poll or like a question or something every single day where I'm like engaging with people. And then a recognition or shout out. So every single day I'm shouting out one of you guys. And by the way, those are authentic. I look for things that genuinely wow me. Do not think I'm just like making crap up. And so I shout out either you or I shout out one of you guys or one of my challengers or one of my challengers or just anything like that. Respond to new likes, comments, reviews. That literally takes me 5 minutes a day. They're going to Nana and Papa's tonight. We are all happy. And then invite. So I was listening to the video that Danielle put up of, what's her name? It doesn't matter. But to reach Diamond, she's like, and she's one of the top coaches. She said to reach Diamond, usually 5 invites a day, 5 days a week. So 25 a week will get you to Diamond by the end of the year if you're very intentional with those invites and you are actually connecting with those people. So that's very hard. Like that's still hard for me sometimes even, but I'm getting better at it. And I am not going to spend time going over all this in depth today. We'll do that in our trainings. So, and when I say our trainings, the new coach trainings that I'm going to put up that you guys will have access to as well. And then follow up with those people that you invited the day before or 2 days before or whatever. Everything else is pretty simple. Contribute to your challenge group, recognize achievement there. I don't do that in the challenge group. I actually do that on my social media. So I still recognize their achievements, but I do it on social media. And then respond to questions. That's, I mean, I can do this all in 10 minutes. It doesn't really take 30 minutes. And then personal development, whatever that looks like for you. So that is the, and then here's the tracker for the names of people and like how the conversation went, and then the date you contacted them and if you followed up. So I've been doing this for a week and a half, and I really, really like it. If you also go to this back office where this is, there's a video that explains how to use it. They actually did like a beta testing phase of this, and the coaches that did it, like their numbers went way, way, way up. So, all right, I'm gonna stop share. And then I'm going to unmute. Can I do that? Okay, just unmute yourself if you have a question. So go ahead, because I'm sure there's probably a few after all that.
Okay.
Or
sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. So how are you intentional with your invites? Because with my invites that I've been doing, I'm just gonna be honest, I am terrible at connections and like building and maintaining relationships. That's just like, I have this little group of people here and I'm perfectly content with that. So now that I'm reaching out and like try to contact people and invite people, it's just really uncomfortable, or like I don't want to do like a cold invite. So how long do you wait after you make your first connection? Like what's your recipe for that?
That's a super good question. So as far as how long do you wait? So I send messages to all my new people, and I'm going to pull up one really quick just to like, let's see. Okay, so here's one that I'm not done with. Like, this is a very raw conversation still. But this girl started following me, and I said, "Hey girl, thanks for the follow. I love getting to meet and encourage other women through Instagram. What do you do?" ? And by the way, that question is very, very on purpose, because that opens up to talk about their job, and then women will tell you very quick whether they like it or not. And so then you can say, "Hey, I like Coach and I love it, and have you thought of that?" But anyways, she says, "I'm in marketing and social media." And I said, "Oh, cool. For what company?" "For what company?" And she says, "It's a pool and spa company, but I work on the events team and we partner with nonprofits to run a fundraiser." And of course I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, wow, that seems like that would be tough to market. Do you like it?" And of course I'm not like digging. I'm not like trying to make people hate their lives, but like I'm like, that doesn't sound like fun to me, but I'm like, "Do you like it?" She says, it's really not surprisingly, we get our leads from seeing another race or referrals." I don't know what she meant by that. So I just said, "Oh, okay. Yeah, it's all about the leads." And then I said, because she has a good social media, I'm authentic in how I invite. I said, "I'm sure you get asked this all the time because you have great pics and captions, but have you ever thought about using this space on Instagram in a business sense? You would be so fun to work with and would be such a delight for what we do as coaches." And she says, "I have, but never really pursued it. I did Beachbody before and still do the shakes from time to time." So from here, I'm probably going to say, "Hey, so you're probably with a coach. I'm not trying to poach you here, but you see how that led very naturally." Like, I mean, she didn't ghost me. Like, she's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Like, I'll talk to this girl because she asked about my job," and she cared enough about the response to say, "Oh, that's got to be kind of hard." So it's really just like being a human being, which seems so simple to say, but just like, okay, I'm making a friend. How am I going to make a friend? I've got another one here that I can read really quick. Oh, this one was really exciting. She said yes. Of course, I can't find it. Okay. So this girl showed up in my Instagram feed, had a super cute picture, super engaging to look at. So I went to her profile, saw that she wasn't selling anything, liked a few of her things that I genuinely liked, of course, and then made a comment on one of her pictures. And then she immediately came back and went through so she had been creeping me apparently, and she went to my Instagram stories and made a post, or commented on one of the energy ball recipes I had or something, the highlight reel, you know? And then I said, yeah, the energy balls are great. And I could seriously creep your IG feed all day. I love your voice for God. I'm sure you get asked this all the time. So yes, there's a little bit of a script here. I'm sure you get asked this all the time, but have you ever thought about using this space in a business sense? You'd be fun to work with and would be a light for what we do as coaches. Obviously, I don't send it to everybody because there's a lot of feeds I run across where I'm like, you are not a light in any sense. Bye. But these girls that I'm saying this to, I genuinely feel that. And I said, I'm not just saying that, I mean every word. She said, you're so sweet. I have thought about it for sure. I work out every day and would love to make some extra income somehow. And I said, you really would be a perfect fit. Can I send you to my website? Which you guys don't have to have a website. You don't have to have a website. Hear that? So that you could check it out, how I can mentor you to be successful. And she said, sure. And so I sent it, and then I'm going to follow up with her in a few days. So, like, do they sign up every time? Absolutely not. But, like, Alexis, you did, and Catherine, you did, and Jen, you did. And so you're going to have those people too. It's just about, like, doing it. And then Chelsea, of course, she's the baller that reached out to me, and I was, like, so caught off guard, but in a good way. In a good way. So there's that. Any more questions about that? Or anything else? Chelsea, I just saw your question. I will put up a new plan each week for the meal plans. I'll put those in our Facebook page so you can just take those and put them straight in your challenge groups.
Beautiful. And I'm even selfishly excited about that. I'm like, yes, I'm going to follow that plan. So that's awesome. Thank you for doing that.
No worries. I did let my girls know that I am a lazy creature of habit. Like, I'm a healthy, lazy person. So, like, my mornings look the same. And then usually for lunches, I do eat all the same foods. But then for dinners, I switch it up every night. And then snacks, I switch it up sometimes.
Yeah. Dinner is my only thing, because I'm fine doing the same thing. And Trey eats leftovers at work for lunch. And so the kids they don't mind. So it's just having a different supper that keeps us not feeling like, you know.
That's exactly what we do. And so that's what I told him. I was like, I'm going to be very transparent. Like, I don't do anything magical over here. I just keep trucking.
Are we just down to the two of us? Or three people?
The three of us, yeah. I don't know where Jen went. And Tara, she had to go. She was getting ready.
She got her makeup done. She's done.
Peace out. Well, is that overwhelming? Was that overwhelming? Or was it exciting?
No, I thought it was exciting. I don't think it was overwhelming.
I was like freaking out when I started actually digesting that he had sent me an email and added me to that private group. I was like, our team can do this. Our team can do this. Like, I wasn't crazy. Because I was like, I think we can, but maybe we can't. And then when he sent that message, I was like, we can. We really can. So what's really cool too, like, this is like, I mean, this is not something all coaches do, but I've seen a few do it, and I think it's just magical. So when you hit elite, the coach that hits, you know, the coach of the team that hits elite gets an extra $500 a month as long as they maintain rank. And most of those coaches put that in a separate savings account for team retreats. And I'm like, I want team retreats. So that I could, like, pay for, like, an awesome place for us all to stay for a few nights. So it's like, that was fun.
Your meal plan looks great. I know that takes a lot of work.
It does, but now that I have that template, I can just, like, start plugging in new things and all that. All right, well, I'll let you guys go. Thanks for tuning in. I'm really excited.
See you, girl.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
You too.